First of all, any come out son iso AGH Politics Avenue. On your podcast or training because make headlines. And a jumbre na a pensimu, and idiom who brought Simas and a daily kanya. Mr. Which must subscribe to the channel. Or may also with my notification banner so share. Now, out of 4 accounts of answer into me in Cabenidima. Best of say, young co a highway sinum abra a jadema and yak some koto crab. Now, Jack 6 Adam slim size a deputy attorney general Omaimu. Now, one more update with regards to a Wontumi case. Now, what I say, Bakwa Ubuni Itimuno. Nyamenchari, Sisiari, Mo Acheno. Meno Kase. Yambua next week. Umo Edino Eba Ebijina Eye Mrano. Na Chanaswam say Eye Ubagana Hasia. Judicial service no. Umo Eko Ahumjimo. Nyambua next week. Obadi Endi Adumbia. Umo Ebeshe Ejumasi. Na Papane die. Kianeke. Washese Umo Edino Ebijina Emrano. Na Senye Emrano Esieno. Eneno Edi Pepe. So far, Yabobo Erana Sway, na a Henny Echo Ediba. Shanaswam say, AGH Politics Avenue. Young co a in Simony.
Then we have one which he has assigned or given mining rights in a concession which he had to another person without authorization.
I see.
Yeah, that case has 4 accused persons. And I'm happy to mention that, in that case, one of the accused persons was at large. Yeah, I think we've arrested him, and so we are going to place him before court next week.
I see.
Yeah.
You've arrested one person
who was at large.
In the second case against Wontumi.
Yeah. He was at large since we started the case, we couldn't find him. But we arrested him last week, and he's in custody. He's been granted police bail. Next week, we are going to arrange him before the courts. Then we have the latest Wontumi case, I think the one where forgery of a receipt.
The Wontumi Farms one.
Farms, yeah, that as well.
Okay.
Then we have buffer stock. Buffer stock, that's a Hanan case where we have 4 accused persons. Hanan, his company, and his wife. That case, we are starting trial next week at the High Court. Then we have the drip equipment case. In the drip equipment, we are using a multiple front to recover the money. So there's a tax aspect of it, tax evasion aspect of it, which the GRA has done this investigation and given us an assessment of how much taxes have been evaded. We stand at, I think, 22 million Ghana cedis on that. Apart from the tax evasion case, there's an overpricing aspect of it. And overpricing runs around 80 million cedis.
Well, the company in question came out to contest that overpricing that you talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that statement.
Yeah, I saw it, but
they don't even know where you are coming from with
this. I understand the company. I mean, I understand either by way of ignorance of what is at stake or mere mischief, because we have, and I believe it's more of mischief because the company itself has written to the GRA saying that we want to return some of the equipment that's in respect of which they evaded tax.
The GA plan pool?
Yes, they have written a letter to GRA indicating clearly that they want to return some of the equipment.
They want to return some of the drip equipment?
Some of the equipment, this is the...
So, what do you mean?
So there is a list of equipment that government, imported.
Right.
And government was supposed to, government gave tax waivers for those equipment. It so happened that more equipment than the number that government, requested were imported and the tax waiver was applied to them. And so currently the assessment shows that about 22 million Ghana cedis is what is involved. And we believe it's even more. So we've asked the GRA to do further investigation to be sure of what the amount is. That is just one aspect of the drip. There's another aspect of allegation of what? Overpricing. And then there's one of which the company, I think, described as clerical error. $2 million just been put on the price without any justification.
You say it's a clerical error.
Yeah, but we hold a different view on that.
What's your view?
And our view is that it was intentional.
It was intentional that the $2 million was put in there. Was money paid? Was that amount?
Yeah, the money has been paid.
The $2 million they describe as a clerical error was paid?
Yes, it was paid. So in fact, and there was, at the point, there were communications between the company with the proposal of returning the money as well. So these are, I mean, that is the drip. Then we have the Apalu case, which my boss announced the previous weeks. Yeah. So these are some of the cases that are currently in court.
I see, but some of the cases were not captured in the oral preparatory team's report.
Yes,
so
indeed.
I mean, you're talking about the NSB and then all of this. The Hanan
yeah, there was. Yeah, Hanan was not in the. I think no, buffer stop was part of the report. But you know, sometimes when the report mentions, you know, the report can be very vague. And when you conduct the investigation, you will notice that instead of say buffer stock, there's something else. And even though someone has brought an issue about buffer stock, further investigation will show that the issue the person brought is not really the issue, and then something else is what the issue may be. And there are some of the cases which were not part of the report at all. For example, the Kwabena Dubain case on the National Security Equipment Signals Bill was not part of the. All right, and so it was a case which was identified and commenced by the executive director of Yoko, you know, when he assumed office.
I see. I'm going to come to that particular case because it's been playing out in a very interesting way in court. Because one of your witnesses, the prosecution witnesses, is said to have given testimony against you. We'll come to that in a bit while we go on. But you describe this oral preparatory team's report that captured the 2,417 complaints as not without evidence, and you explain why.
Yeah.
But then the committee put a figure to how much we can recover, right, from these cases they've captured. In fact, it says even just 59 out of the lot that they have captured in the report. They say some $21 billion could be recovered from the 59 of the many cases in there. Is it one that you agree with? Is it feasible? Should we expect that money?
No, I don't think we should expect to recover that. And let me explain why. Like I said, these are complaints. And in normal life experience, someone can make an allegation of, say, that you've done something, you've stolen 10 million. Investigation may show that you stole actually more or less, or probably nothing at all. So let me give you an example. So if someone comes to say that a contract has been signed, okay, and the contract sum is 10 million cedis. Now, for maybe the construction of a school building at a particular place, what we found out in some of the investigative cases was that someone is aware of this contract, that it has been signed.
Right.
He goes to the site where the school is supposed to be built, and there's no school there. Now, the person is alarmed and says that, look, a contract of 10 million has been signed to build a school. 5 years down the line, there's no school there. So I believe 10 million has been stolen, right? But that is not stealing 10 million. It could be that the contract was signed, but no mobilization was given at all. It could also be that the money was paid in tranches and that only 1 million was paid and not the 10 million. So the investigation will reveal all this. That is why I believe that, and we found instances where this scenario that I've painted happened, which means that then it will reduce the amount. And indeed, we found other situations where the amount was a bit more than what the complaint contained.
I see.
Yeah.
So you're saying we've been given false hopes in this 21 billion that we were told that could be recovered from the oral?
No, I wouldn't describe it as false hope. I think the investigative committee was clear in the nature of their work. Yes. And they were not confused at all. They knew that what they were receiving were complaints.
True.
And they knew that such complaints, I mean, there were how many...
We were told how much we were going to get.
Yes, so based on the report, I mean, the compilation, the complaints that they compiled, they have given an estimate. But the committee members are aware that their report was subject to criminal or forensic investigation to confirm or refute some of the allegations therein. So I think the estimate that was given should be taken within the context of the fact that there will be further investigation which may confirm or refute some of the allegations.
So meaning what? We could get lesser than what we were told, the 21 billion?
Yes, that is what I mean.
I see. This actually leads to the heightened expectations that people have of oral. Would you agree that because of some of these statements you made about how much we could get from oral and the fact that you're going to hit the ground running, people had heightened expectations of oral with the promise to immediately throw people into jail when you take office, and it's been 1 year on and nothing is happening?
Would you agree? I just told you the number of things that are happening, yes. So it is not actually correct when you say nothing is happening.
In terms of?
Yeah, because I've just outlined some of the things that are happening and the advanced stage of some of the cases and the volumes of investigations that have gone on and are still going on. So maybe, like you said, it is possible that expectations are not being met, but I can tell you when it comes to the realities on the ground, we really are moving faster than any regime in terms of pursuing these accountability issues.
As if so you're moving faster than any regime. What do you mean?
What I mean is that if you look at when we started prosecuting and the speed at which some of the cases are going, considering the systemic issues of slow justice delivery, legal vacation will take some part of it, and then we are currently in another legal vacation, which will mean that next week we are going back to the court, and the issues of judges being overloaded with cases and all the systemic issues. If you compare with any other regime's pursuit of accountability, we are far ahead of them. That is not to say that the people's expectations are illegitimate. Those are legitimate expectations because these people have lived the realities of this country. They have seen some of the things that have been done in terms of public funds in this country. And they really expect, and they have believed in the legal system. They know that you could do certain things within a certain period of time.
Sure.
But they also understand, and I believe a lot of people understand, that we are in a democracy, we are running a rule of law system, and you cannot just merely...
It is on the basis of that if you sold oral to the people as a red-hot policy.
It is.
That when you get in, because of the kind of evidence, that the presentations that the preparatory team put out, it was as though, you're going to secure convictions within a short period. And then you're talking about the systemic issues now. So if you are aware of the nuances in our jurisprudence, which could impact on how speedy you get trial, how then do you create the impression as though that oral was going to just quickly get people convicted and put into jail?
Alfred, did you at any point in time, personally, did you at any point in time believe that we could just arrest people and dump them in jail? I don't think you believe that. And I don't think anyone actually believed that. I think everyone believed that or knew and understood that we're going to try the people, we're going to investigate people, we're going to gather evidence, we're going to go through all the processes that I've mentioned, and we're going to put people before competent court of competent jurisdiction, and also try as much as we can to put them to let them have their day in court.
I see.
Yeah. So I don't think that the people are.
Wait. Let's go on. Yes. I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so that's the point I was trying to make.
I see. No, I asked this question based on the fact that, prior to this oral kicking in, you had people share their views about when they expect people to be incarcerated or convicted, for that matter. And the fact that if you know about, you mentioned how long trials can take and the nuances in there.
And how fast we have gone so far.
And how fast you have gone so far as well. Would you say that you didn't paint that picture to the people when you were promising oral? That, you know what, yes, we want speedy trials and convictions, but then there are some systemic issues which could delay convictions for a long period of time, and some cases could run longer than people expect, and so be patient.
We promise to put in place certain institutional, mechanisms so that these cases will be fast. So we talk of the tribunal system, for instance, and the tribunal bill is in the works.
Right.
And if the tribunal bill passes through, it will definitely, facilitate the process. Yeah, facilitate the process. And then the tribunal system will facilitate the what is happening.
Right, I can hear you.
Yeah, the tribunal system will facilitate the process. And then apart from the tribunal system, we are in the process of having the afternoon courts as well, which I believe will kick off in a few weeks. We'll have the 24-hour court system where you have morning court and you have afternoon court. The Ghana Bar Association has agreed to that policy, and the Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice, is going to announce how far that policy will, when the policy will start. So I believe when these processes and institutional changes are put in place, definitely we'll move faster than we are moving. But as it stands now, like I said, we are as fast as the system allows us to be, and indeed faster than any other system that we've had.
Let me get this. You're going to introduce the tribunals, and you have morning court, afternoon courts as well.
Indeed.
And what role is the tribunals exactly going to play in this oral prosecution?
No, so the tribunal system, first of all, because they don't have any case load at the moment, a panel hearing a case will move faster than the usual court system. Then the afternoon court is going to open up another layer of court. So instead of having a court just hear cases in the morning and the rest of the day not being heard, we are going to have a situation where the court will hear cases in the morning and also hear cases in the afternoon, different judges coming in to be afternoon judges.
Right.
We believe that this will indeed facilitate the process. So let me just make the point that we promise the people we are going to move fast. We promise them certain institutional changes as well. These changes are in the works. And as I mentioned, they are coming to, they will start soon. And once they start, we believe that the speed that the people will expect will be met. But as it stands now, we have indeed moved. How many cases? I mentioned a number of over 10 cases right now involving deep investigations and trials.
I see. Now, if you talk about deep investigations, there have been concerns about, in fact, even before we got in, somebody said you have had more press conferences than convictions or even prosecutions, for that matter, from your boss, the Attorney General.
That my boss has done what?
More press conferences than convictions or prosecutions.
My boss has done, of course, my boss has done 4 press conferences, I think 5 press conferences since he came to office.
How many convictions?
In a year. Alfred, conviction cannot be compared to press conferences. They have nothing in common. So, and there will be a time where you have more conclusion of trials or conviction, and there will not be any press conferences. So press conferences are meant to share information to the public, to keep the public aware of what their mandate is being used for. And let's not accept the claim or the allegation that press conferences to inform the people, to update the people on the mandate of the government is a bad thing. And we should not. Alfred, how many times have I come to your studio since I assumed office? How many times have you spoken to my boss?
A couple of times, yes.
On air, since he came to office. I don't think you've spoken to my boss even this whole period that he was in office. So if the impression
just
is
once, actually.
So if the impression is created as if there's just press conferences.
And you see, the issue that was raised about the press conference was not so much about how many, about he doing it, but how some of the issues were put out. So that, for instance, he addresses a press conference that he tags Rumble in the Jungle, Thriller in Manila, and the way and manner in which the information is put out, it's as though it is a done deal that the persons who are mentioned in there or involved have been convicted already, and they are ready to be thrown in jail. And that, for instance, if he says there's no way he cannot secure convictions with some of the statements he makes or the things he puts out in public, and that he doesn't see how the court would overlook such evidence as he puts out in the public. Is that not, he already prejudging the cases in the court of public opinion?
I think for a prosecutor, I don't know any prosecutor who is acting in good faith who would go to court and say that I don't believe I have conviction. The very action of filing charges is indicative of the fact that the prosecutor believes that he's going to be successful. So the Attorney General saying that he's going to be successful in the cases that he has put before the court is just the normal and the proper thing to say and to do when you put a case before a court. So it is a situation we have. I think as a country, we need to make a choice whether we want to run public.
We ain't some mahodua, it me a coso, a watch and so. That's an eso body and the Adumbi Adumia. Unia, Bobo Rum, na assign as some of points from Kusukra. But as I say, Wajimre,